Members' motion with no legislative effect. Members who wish to speak, please press the Request to Speak button. This council will debate on Dr. Johnny Ng's motion on better aligning with the national development strategy for promoting high-standard opening up. 8 members will move amendments to the motion. This council will proceed to a joint debate on the motion and the amendment. I will first call upon Dr. Johnny Ng to speak and move the motion. Then I will call upon Mr. Michael Lee, Mr. Kenneth Falk, Mr. Tommy Chung, Mr. Lau Ka-keung, Mr. Nick Chen, Mr. Robert Lee, Mr. Erik Yim, and Professor Priscilla LEUNG to speak in sequence, but they may not move the amendment at this stage. The joint debate now begins. And I'll call upon Dr. Johnny Ng to speak and move the motion. Dr. Johnny Ng, please. Thank you. I move that the motion as printed on the agenda be passed. This year marks the beginning of the National 15th Five-Year Plan. Our country has reached a new stage of rapid development. Last week, the National People's Congress approved the outline of the 15th Five-Year Plan. There are 18 chapters, 62 sections. There are dedicated sections on high standard opening up and achieving mutually beneficial cooperation. There are also references to adherence to one country, two systems, supporting Hong Kong in integrating into national development. Chapter 17, section 59. There's a verse here, and that is improving the mechanisms for Hong Kong and Macau in integrating into national development. Contribution of these two cities in the Belt and Road Initiative. And then there are also tasks in the government work report. Our country supports our better development. Under the basic law, we keep our status as a separate customs entity. In the free port, we have a simple tax system. We support multilateral trade. Free trade, free movement of goods and talent are our strengths, and we have access to the vast market in the mainland. We can serve as a bridge. The world is confronted with changes of a magnitude unseen in a century. Geopolitical conflict is going on. Global trade is disrupted. Hong Kong should not be just a beneficiary. We should serve as a strategic node. We should be more proactive and take up this mission in helping our country in high standard opening up. We should make more pronounced contributions. We should make better use of one country, two systems, and serve as the super connector and super value adder. And we should become a super value accelerator. We should bring in more global businesses. Meanwhile, we should help mainland businesses go global. The SCR government has done its work to keep Hong Kong as an international financial center. The current government is pulling all the stops to do this, and we're trying to attract in businesses and talent. As our country is moving on to a new 5-year period, we should adopt new tools. We should apply new thinking as we align with the 15th Five-Year Plan to live up to our country's expectations of Hong Kong, so that Hong Kong can truly put in place better mechanisms in our country's effort. There are people who think that now we have a siloed approach. Invest Hong Kong falls under the CEDB. Oasis falls under the Financial Secretary. And then financial and tax concessions fall under the ITIB. Industrial land supply falls under the Development Bureau and the Science Park. So there's room for the SCR government to come up with strategies in attracting businesses. For that, we need a coordinated approach. So my idea is to upgrade the CEDB into a Commerce and International Cooperation Bureau. We need a broader terms of reference for this bureau. This bureau should coordinate the business attraction efforts across different parties so that we avoid duplication of efforts. We need better coordination in frontline efforts. We should be merging the Oasis and Invest Hong Kong. We need tailored tailored solutions for different businesses based on their needs. We also need holistic strategies in international cooperation. We should bring in global businesses and talent. We need a more strategic methodological approach in helping businesses go global so that we make greater contributions to our country's development. We now have the Belt and Road Office under the CEDB. That office takes the lead in Belt and Road advocacy. We also have 15 overseas economic and trade offices. For this Belt and Road Office, it's taking forward high-quality development at full speed. It has achieved great results. In 2024, we had business dealings with Belt and Road countries valued at $276 billion, and we also saw more than $130 billion worth of investment. We now have more than 1,000 Belt and Road companies from Belt and Road countries. Many of them are also listed, and we also have free trade agreements. We also have investment agreements with 20 countries. At the 10th Belt and Road Forum last year, 6,200 visitors came to the event. 45 MOUs were signed, and the total value was more than $1 billion. We should integrate these economic and trade offices and investment offices. We need an international cooperation office. And let's also put a head to take charge of the office who will coordinate business attraction and collaboration efforts. And we should show a greater focus on Asia and in particular ASEAN in our attraction efforts. And we should also improve the chances for mainland businesses going global. And we should better tell China stories to these Asian partners. Invest Hong Kong can also play a bigger role. In 2018, Singapore set up Enterprise Singapore. That office held events, trade promotion events, for example. Enterprise Singapore also helped to internationalize the local innovation. Enterprise Singapore also laid down national standards to help their own businesses increase their competitiveness. Last year, Enterprise Singapore helped 11,700 Singaporean businesses enhance their competitiveness. Thousands of Singaporean businesses went into transformation projects, and that brought in 12.3 billion Singaporean dollars of revenue. Our HKTDC has 51 offices across the globe. We have what it takes to help businesses expand their global operations. Hong Kong should also be more proactive in living up to the expectations as the 8 centers as well as the 4 centers and 1 hub. So we should double down on shipping, trade, finance, INT, and also we should become a hub for top-notch international talent. In finance, we should serve as this bridge between mainland and overseas markets. First, we should implement the National 15th Five-Year Plan. We should promote the internationalization of RMB, and we should promote the use of RMB in fundraising, and we should create an autonomous cross-boundary RMB payment system. We should also promote green finance and transitional finance. Let's also offer tax breaks to incentivize financing in Hong Kong. We should also work with Belt and Road countries in finance. Let's make Hong Kong's capital market more attractive. In innovation and technology, now we should take the lead in this space. We have huge potential. We're in the cyber age. We should turn Hong Kong into a Web3 hub. And this is where we can start. We need a better regulatory system. We should relax rules. Web3 businesses can contribute to GDP growth, and we should help with business matching. The CSRC announced something. It was about the tokenization of local assets, and that laid down clear regulatory rules for real-world assets. So the HKSAR should talk to the mainland authorities. So let's look at some case studies. Let's find ways to turn assets of mainland businesses into real-world assets. Hong Kong is an international city of China. We should be where the East meets the West. We should tell China's story well. All in all, I hope members will support my motion, and I will be listening attentively to members' insights. Let's put our heads together. Let's work with the government to come up with measures to seize national development opportunities. Thank you. I so submit. I now put the question to you that Dr. Johnny Ng's motion be passed. Mr. Lee Chun-keung.
Thank you, President. As our country is developing, there are new opportunities. Many countries in the world are looking at our country's move. They roll out policies and measures in response to that. The 2 sessions concluded a few years ago. We understand the achievements of the 14th five-year plan. Hong Kong and our country faced with COVID, Sino-US trade war. All these affected our country's development in terms of economy. Dr. Johnny Ng moved this motion today, and it comes in very timely. We just adopted the 15th five-year plan a few days ago in the 2 sessions. We have developed a blueprint and action agenda for the next 5 years' development of our country's economy. We are at the start of the 15th five-year plan, and we're going to develop a Hong Kong's 5-year plan. Hopefully, we can give full play to our own potentials to serve our country, such that we can dovetail with the 15th five-year plan, better integrate into national development. Under the national 15th five-year plan, we are positioned as 10 centers. Now we are also the International Risk Management Center and International Asset and Wealth Management Center. In the 8 centers, we see the word the international time and again. We're also going to develop ourselves into a hub for high caliber talent, and we want to develop a commodities trading ecosystem and a high value added supply chain center. How can we better play our roles? President, we need to leverage on an advantage of having one country, 2 systems, and having support from the country and being closely connected to the rest of the world. We need to play our roles as super connector and super value added. How can we play these roles well? We can leverage on the Northern Metropolis to become a window, a springboard for financing. We can take quality brands and products from our country global. We can establish a Greater Bay Area standard so that we can bring mainland products and services global. We can better connect with the Greater Bay Area in terms of flow of people, materials, data, and capital. This is how members of the public can share the fruits of economic benefits such that they have a higher sense of happiness and gain. We need to expedite the development of the Northern Metropolis, and this is also included in the 15th five-year plan. The government is going to develop a dedicated legislation on the Northern Metropolis. We need to remove barriers. The Hong Kong INT cooperation zone in the Northern Metropolis is part of the 15th five-year plan. We need to leverage on this policy of one zone, 2 park so that we can facilitate a free flow of technology between Hong Kong and Shenzhen. We need to have a comprehensive INT industry chain. President, there are many chapters to the 15th five-year plan. I know that there are new industries in our country, and there will also be a series of future industries to be developed. I think that we can play our role better. I believe that our colleagues here will support the SAR government in developing the Hong Kong's 15th five-year plan. Hopefully, we can together collect views from different sectors of the society to advise the government on the plan. And this is how we can leverage on our own advantage, contribute to our country through our profession, through our experience, through our advantage of being connected to the rest of the world. We can support our country in meeting our economic goals and to make sure that the 15th five-year plan is implemented effectively. Thank you. Mr. Kenneth Fok. Thank you, President. I thank Dr. Johnny NG for moving the motion. Our country just adopted the 15th five-year plan, and it is said that we need to continue to promote high standard opening up Hong Kong as an important window for our country. We need to leverage on our own advantages to contribute to our country. G19 colleagues and I are concerned about the development of an international civil aviation hub. Given the ever-changing external environment, the trading and direct external investment performance of a country is still good. New external investment grow by 19% on flow of people. There are more mainland residents going overseas for travel, and our country have implemented many visa-free policies, and there is an increase of 50% of inbound tourism from other countries. There's growing number of overseas fund companies, and there is greater demand, therefore, for international flights and cargo logistics. In 2024, our country rolled out a 3+7+N aviation system. Our country have given the airports of different provinces and municipalities a position. The policy have been implemented for 2 years and it's been going on quite well. However, we are faced with quite a number of challenges. The capabilities of some airports on the mainland is almost exhausted. The Hong Kong International Airport has great hardware, software, international aviation network. We have commissioned the third runway and we have T2. We do have the capabilities and responsibilities to help our country open up further to meet the ever-increasing demand for international flights on the mainland. However, to respect one country's two systems, the plan of a national civil aviation system has not included Hong Kong International Airport. We all know that the air ticket price has been going up very extensively recently, and especially for long-haul flights, and the price has not come down. And that undermines our role as an international aviation hub. There are 4 airplane companies have raised their price on fuel surcharge. G19 met with the administration and the Hong Kong IA. There are multiple reasons behind the increase of price and of fuel surcharge. They include geopolitical problems, freedom of the air, manpower constraints, so on and so forth. So in 2 sessions, I submitted my views on how we can enhance our status as an international aviation hub. One of my suggestions is that we should incorporate Hong Kong International Airport into the national civil aviation system so that we can be included in the 3+7+N system. And this is how we can give full play to the Hong Kong IA's function as a super connector to better serve national development. I hope that the administration will advocate for Hong Kong IA being incorporated into the National Civil Aviation Hub so that we have more traffic rights and more routes and so that we can trial for passengers for long-haul flights and create a more open and fair competition. And this is how overseas travelers can fly to Belt and Road countries through Hong Kong. And we also have to develop Skytopia. I'm glad to see that Dr. John Lee, the chief executive, met with the head of Civil Aviation Administration of China when he went to the two sessions. I so submit. I hope that members will support my amendment. Mr. Tommy Chung. Thank you. In the 15th five-year plan, it was said that Hong Kong has to better integrate into the country's development. In the 15th five-year plan, we should not just integrate into the development, we need to serve the country. We need to develop our own Hong Kong's 15th five-year plan so that we can enhance our role as a super connector and super value adder. I talk about how we should establish Greater Bay Area standards that align with international standards to deepen soft connectivity on regulations and standards and assist the going global of mainland enterprises and the bringing in of international enterprises. A good international trading system should go two-way. Different markets should complement each other and they should develop together. Hong Kong, as a super connector between the mainland and the rest of the world, we should connect the mainland market with the overseas market so that we can grasp opportunities presented by our country's development. We should not only help mainland enterprises go global, we should also bring in international enterprises into our country. We need to expand internal demand, enhance consumption demand, and raise people's sense of happiness. In order to ensure high standard opening up, we need to connect the market rules of our country and the rest of the world. I have a few suggestions. First, we must cooperate better with the governments in the Greater Bay Area. We have to encourage Hong Kong enterprises to participate in establishing a set of Greater Bay Area standards. Second, we need to leverage on the trade associations of Hong Kong. We need to study the demand and supply of mainland municipalities and cities, and we need to help Hong Kong trade unions and Chamber of Commerce develop mainland markets to promote dual circulation of domestic and international demand. Third, we need to continue to advocate for early incorporation into RCEP, and we need to offer channels for products from ASEAN and Africa to enter mainland. Second, we need to speed up the development of commodities trading ecosystem so that we can become an important international commodities futures market. Colored metals is one of the most important products in the Belt and Road market. We need to leverage on our role as an international financial center and develop well our futures services and market. We need to promote logistics and transport and warehouse industries. Fifth, we need to improve our high value-added supply chain services. Many importers and exporters have decades or even centuries of experience, and many are included in university textbook. I hope that the government will promote the experience of our service providers of supply chain management. Sixth, we need to develop a maritime insurance services to reinforce our function as an international risk management center to provide adequate protection for trade. Lastly, I hope that members will support Dr. Johnny Ng's motion and my amendment so that we can implement the 15th five-year plan well, so that we can better serve our country's development and consolidate our position as international financial and logistics centers. Thank you.
Mr. Lau Ka-keung. Thank you. President, I would like to thank Dr. Johnny NG for proposing the motion at this critical juncture between the 14th and 15th five-year plan's transition. Today's motion is about how we can better align with the National Development Strategy for promoting high standard opening up, and this is very important for the future development of Hong Kong. The chief executive said in this year we will have the first five-year plan for the city, and there will be a mechanism where the government and LegCo will work together. It really shows the government's commitment and that we are at a new stage for amicable interactions between the executive and legislature. I have some suggestions. One, we need to deepen the construction of the Greater Bay Area. In order to better integrate into the development of the country, we need to continuously deepen alignment of rules and mechanisms within the Greater Bay Area to have smoother flow of factor input. And last year, the FSTB, along with the relevant mainland authority in Shenzhen, announced a proposal saying that at the end of 2027, there should be over 20 Shenzhen-Hong Kong cross-boundary data verification platforms as well as use cases in the financial sector. The relevant measures will resolve the issue of information imbalance in credit information in cross-boundary financial activities. The plan also talks about how we need to construct a commodities trading ecosystem. I suggest the administration work with the Hong Kong Stock Exchange to see the HKEX to see how we can develop more products and to collaborate with exchanges in the Greater Bay Area to develop new business areas and commodities. Second, we should have high-quality development of the Belt and Road Initiative. The plan supports Hong Kong in high-quality construction of the Belt and Road Initiative, and we need to leverage on our advantages in professional services to help enterprises go global. And with the current geopolitical situation, we need to leverage on our unique advantage of being connected to both the mainland and the world to really actively take forward the work of the Go Global Task Force, leverage on the advantages of Hong Kong's professional services, and become a risk management center and financing capital for enterprises to provide comprehensive support to mainland enterprises. So that will be the premier platform for mainland enterprises to go global. I also urge the administration to organize more delegation visits and work with different sectors to develop the ASEAN and Global South markets to expand our development potential. Third, we need to tell good stories of the country and Hong Kong. The plan says Hong Kong needs to leverage on its function of being the gateway between the East and the West in cultural exchange. The government should hold more activities, especially for youngsters, so that they have a better understanding of national development strategy and achievements so far. It should enhance citizens' sense of belonging. We should also encourage more civic society organizations to take part in external exchange activities, for example, by organizing visits to Belt and Road countries, so as to increase influence of civic society organizations and deepen international cooperation to tell good stories of the country in Hong Kong. President, I so submit speaking in support of the original motion. I hope members will also support my amendments. Mr. Nick Chen. President, the National 15 Five-Year Plan specifically says we really need to promote high standard opening up, and Hong Kong needs to integrate into and serve the development of the country. We need to make clear a positioning. We will soon have our own five-year plan. We need to consolidate our strategic positioning as 10 centers and really leverage on our advantages of one country, two systems, and develop in a high-quality manner. First, we need to enhance our status as a regional IP trading center. The government should take the lead to have a patent valuation body that is headquartered in Hong Kong to promote innovation as well as develop Hong Kong as a trading center. And we can leverage on our advantages alongside other Greater Bay Area cities. With the intellectual property department's resources and the world's top 100 universities in Hong Kong, we have great R&D potential. We also have a sound legal system. The government has favorable conditions to set up a database on AI IP. So we will combine not only the local R&D innovation as well as mainland R&D innovation to make use of generative AI to help the industrial and business sectors to identify patents that will help local enterprises upgrade and transform. We can also provide some templates for smart contracts so that it is easy for people to seek authorization for use of R&D innovation, and it will be a win-win for everyone. Mr. Kenneth and Mr. Duncan Chu and I work together to promote arrangements where we will facilitate digital transformation of IP for copyright owners to facilitate cultural exchange. And we have many parties, publishers, being interested in developing the market. I also recently visited some tech enterprises in Shenzhen, and I can see they make use of AI to transform words into videos. It will be benefiting the creative industries. It can also facilitate Hong Kong's development as an East meets West center for international cultural exchange, enhancing the influence of the Chinese culture. Seeing the current tense geopolitical situation, we need to enhance our functions as an international risk management center. We need to deepen collaboration in cross-boundary legal cooperation. Right now, we have a halt in local enterprises mergers, and we will soon have some sort of channel. We also have some guidelines for taxation to support enterprises to really consolidate when they have operations in multiple jurisdictions. I note that several years ago, Hong Kong and the mainland had an experimental arrangement where they would have some Hong Kong judgments enforced in the mainland and vice versa. We also need to develop maritime insurance. Hong Kong has an edge in that regard. We really need to have regard to local circumstances and explore how we can aid the country in its high standard opening up. I speak in support of Dr. Johnny Ng's motion, and I hope members will support my amendments I so submit. Thank you. President, Mr. Robert Lee. I thank Dr. Johnny Ng for proposing today's motion, and I propose amendments to leverage Hong Kong's financial strengths and deepen the mutual access between the financial markets of the mainland and Hong Kong to better serve the real economies of the two places and the opening up of industries. I have three specific suggestions. First, the SAR government and regulatory bodies need to enhance liaison with enterprises in the mainland so that more enterprises with great potential will come to Hong Kong for listing. For example, in Zhejiang province, which has seen rapid development in recent years. We have over 100 Chun-keung enterprises listing in Hong Kong in recent years, covering different areas, INT, new energy. We have Alibaba and other companies that are in value exceeding $100 billion. We should continue to be a super connector to provide financing convenience to mainland enterprises to help them develop overseas markets through the city. We should also have local chambers of commerce, enhance liaison with the mainland. We should set up perhaps an enterprise service center to provide professional services such as in law and accountancy. We should also hold expos to build an international exchange platform. Second, we need to keep up with the times and improve the listing rules. Recently, the HKEX relaxed the threshold for overseas listed enterprises to come to Hong Kong for secondary listing. And such suggestions will obviously be targeting larger enterprises. We should also cater for small and medium-sized enterprises. I hope the administration can relax the restrictions. For example, for point 13, section 14.24 of the listing rules, as well as another relevant section about the specific requirements for companies. We also need a review of this. We need to also reform the GEM board so that we can have small and medium-sized enterprises from different parts of the world to come list in Hong Kong, and that should help us better play the role as a super connector. On mutual access arrangements, we have seen breakthroughs in recent years, and we need to really expand the diversity of products provided in mutual access arrangements. We should cover, say, derivatives in energy, agricultural products, precious metals, and commodities to really benefit the real economy as well. To tie in with the policy to build a commodities trading ecosystem and to help the country exert influence in this area, the government should work with the HKEX to explore collaboration opportunities with other commodity exchanges. We can perhaps explore setting up a mechanism for futures, connect, as well as attaching greater importance to the promotion of futures market. We have also feedback from the sector. The separation between HKEX and non-HKEX business has caused some inconvenience, and I hope the administration can tackle the issues. I support what is said in other amendments about how we should leverage on our advantages to help enterprises go global. This is in line with my view that we should leverage on our financial advantages to support the real economies. I hope members will support my amendments.
Mr. Erik. Madam President, our country has started with the start of the 15th five-year plan, and that means opportunities for Hong Kong's development. Dr. Johnny Ng's motion on better aligning with the national development strategies is timely. Profound changes are taking place in the global landscape. Hong Kong must find a new path and break new ground in this new environment, and we have to find ways to contribute to our country's development. We have to do our part. Look at our world. A new round of technological revolution and industrial revolutions are underway. Hong Kong is a highly open economy. We need broad horizons. We need to be farsighted. We have to spot the challenges and opportunities from all these changes. We have to seize the opportunities from our country's 15th five-year plan. We have to change our mindset. We have to find our strategic positioning, and we have to plan our way forward. We must expand and deepen international collaboration. We have to get things done within the executive-led model. We have to take a tech-driven approach and provide fresh impetus for industries. We must leverage our strength in basic research and our international outlook. We must strengthen coordinated innovation with the rest of the Greater Bay Area. Let's take the Northern Metropolis as an opportunity to turn ourselves into a hub. Let's bring in the top-notch INT talent to Hong Kong. We must create this new INT cluster. We also should leverage the strengths of two systems. Let's come up with our first five-year plan that shows foresight. And we should create a business environment in the Northern Metropolis aligned with global practice. Let's focus on the frontier areas while we also look at the traditional areas, and we should achieve synergy between traditional and frontier areas. Let's come up with high standard trade protocol, and we should launch this dedicated legislation for the Northern Metropolis as soon as we can, so that the Northern Metropolis can become a demonstration zone of our country's high standard opening up. My amendment stresses deep participation in high standard development of Belt and Road. The Belt and Road is more than just about our country exporting capital. We should also bring in the leading industries from the Belt and Road countries to the mainland via Hong Kong. That's how we can truly serve as a bridge. We should give full play to Hong Kong's strength in professional services such as legal services and financial services. Let's come up with high value-added professional services. In contributing our country's high standard opening up, we will also be able to achieve long-term development. The 15th five-year plan proposes an adherence to high standard development. That's for our country, and that also means opportunities for Hong Kong. We must embrace the change. We have to see where things are changing, and we should respond to change, and that means aligning with our country's development. We should be bold in achieving new development. Let's deepen international exchange, and we should give full play to our strength as a superconnector. As our country strives to shape a new economy that shows greater openness, we should find the opportunity to achieve long-term development. I so submit. I support Dr. Johnny NG and his motion and other members' amendment. I also urge members to support my amendment. Thank you. Professor Priscilla LEUNG. The government work report and the 15th five-year plan point to our President's philosophy of law-based governance. I have been a champion of the rule of law and our country's involvement in it. I find the 15th five-year plan motivating. Our country has demonstrated confidence in the rule of law and judicial practice. In the past, our country had to learn from others. Now, our country is a leader in political and economic rules, contributing to our country's development is what we have to do. My amendment is about strengthening China's voice in the global stage. I hope members will support my amendment. I also want to share something, an anecdote. In 1990, I graduated from the Renmin University, and then I joined the City University as a lecturer. A student asked me, "There was no president from China's court. How could there be law?" For that remark, I talked to the Supreme People's Court. I asked them, to make the most of Hong Kong's bilingual legal talent so that we come up with bilingual presidents, and then we publish the presidents around the world. And then I convinced the Supreme People's Court to get me to undertake this enormous translation project. We all know legal translation is costly. Back then, before 1997, the colonial government did not pay me a penny. I had to sell my flat, and that was a unit in Wang Tai House from Wang Fuk Court to finance that translation project. And I also had to persuade many bilingual Hong Kong legal professionals to take part in the editing. And those people included Mr. Fong Wah Kin and Miss Elsie Leung. And we put together 3,000 or so precedents. They came in more than a dozen volumes. Chinese courts cited our bilingual precedents when they talked to their foreign peers. I was in my early 30s back then. Our country's judicial reform hinges on talent. And that highlights the importance of raising awareness of Chinese judges of foreign laws. In the early 2000s, I also helped our country train talent judges in the mainland well versed in international trade law. So I also promoted these courses taught in English, targeting mainland judges. I told those students I hope that one of them could become a justice at an international court. I also took them on tours to the EU, to the Hague in particular, so that they could set their goals. 3 years ago, I talked to the chief executive. We have 3 law schools in Hong Kong. I hope at least one of them can become a judge at an international court. And then early this year, a Chinese judge taught by me became a judge at a UN court. I'm sharing this anecdote to say that we should not belittle ourselves. We are a super connector. In soft connectivity, in terms of protocol, we have potential. 10 years ago, I talked to legal experts from Belt and Road countries on dispute resolution services. And then in 2015, we arrived at an agreement for the International Mediation Organization for Mediation to be established in Hong Kong. So in terms of soft power, in terms of the rule of law, we can do something. Let's look at the world today. There are conflicts everywhere. We should work with the mainland and achieve success together. I so submit.
Secretary for Constitutional and Mainland Affairs, President. The 4th session of the 14th National People's Congress successfully concluded in Beijing on the 12th of March. The session adopted the outline of the 15th Five-Year Plan for National Economic and Social Development of the People's Republic of China, which sets out a blueprint and action plan for the country's economic and social development over the next 5 years. Hong Kong SAR will actively dovetail with the National 15th Five-Year Plan and contribute our strength to further deepening reform across the board and advancing modernization with Chinese characteristics. The chapter on Hong Kong and Macau in the outline builds upon the foundation of the central government's consistent support for Hong Kong during the 14th Five-Year Plan period. It continues to support Hong Kong in consolidating and enhancing its status as 8 centers, and for the first time includes support for Hong Kong to build a commodities trading ecosystem and high value-added supply chain service center. It also explicitly supports Hong Kong in accelerating the development of the northern metropolis and establishing itself as a hub for attracting international high-caliber talent, fully reflecting our country's expectations and support for Hong Kong. Beyond the chapter on Hong Kong and Macau, the plan calls for building a new system of high-level opening up, promoting high-quality development of the Belt and Road Initiative, expanding international economic circulation, accelerating high-level self-reliance, and strengthening science and technology, leading the development of new quality productive forces, and accelerating the comprehensive green transformation of economy and society. These strategic tasks and major initiatives will bring significant opportunities to Hong Kong, whether through participating in and promoting the Belt and Road Initiative and the development of the Greater Bay Area, or by advancing technological development and leveraging on the green transition of our country. Hong Kong can accelerate its sustainable development and technological breakthroughs. The Chief Executive will earnestly fulfill its role in bearing the primary responsibility for the governance of Hong Kong and proactively align with the National 15th Five-Year Plan. We will establish a systemic policy framework to make more comprehensive, precise, and detailed strategic developments in key development areas and complete a formulation of the first Hong Kong's 5-year plan, a document characterized by its macro-level, strategic, and forward-looking nature within this year. In the process of formulating the Hong Kong 5-year plan, the Legislative Council will undoubtedly be our steadfast partner. Under the executive-led approach, we will establish a collaborative research and opinion-gathering mechanism between the government and the Legislative Council to foster positive interaction and mutual cooperation. The mechanism will be jointly organized by the Constitutional and Mainland Affairs Bureau, relevant policy bureaus, and the Legislative Council. The mechanism's operation model will include conducting coordinated research, holding joint or subgroup meetings on specific topics to gather opinions, conducting research and analysis, promptly compiling results, and submitting updates to the government in a timely manner as progress is made, thereby supporting and assisting the government in formulating the 15th Five-Year Plan under the executive-led system. In the following, my colleagues and I will attentively listen to the views of all members and engage in discussions on how to further improve our efforts. So submit. Thank you.
Mr. Gary Chan. Thank you. The two sessions concluded last week. The government work report also lays down as a goal to achieve high quality development and high standard opening up. The 15th Five-Year Plan also expresses support for Hong Kong and Macau to better integrate into national development. I want to talk about energy today. How we can better contribute to our country's development from the perspective of energy. One country, two systems as a formula gives us a unique edge. We offer stability for capital and talent. Huge changes are happening in geopolitics. We have to be clear on our country's latest plan. How we can actively align with our country's plan and what we can do. Let's take energy. We used to think of it as an ecological matter. We talked about carbon reduction. We talked about new energy. All those factors matter. That's why we talk about green transformation and decarbonization. But then, geopolitical conflicts are worsening. A war is raging on in Iran. More and more countries are looking at energy from another perspective. Energy security, reducing reliance on external sources and ensuring their own energy security. So now there's new demand for new energy. Our country has built experience in new energy. Our country is also the global leader in applying new energy. The policy address has also proposed turning Hong Kong into a demonstration zone of green applications. The blueprint is there. Does that mean this is good enough? We can seize the opportunities. We have local green policies too. We focus on the environment, but we neglect geopolitics. If that is the case, then we're missing a key opportunity where we can grow our industries and align with our country's plans. So when we think about our industrial plans, we should be mindful of not just what we need, and instead we should also be mindful of what our country and what the world at large need. Aligning what we in Hong Kong, what our country and what the world need will be where we can shine. We have to get two things right. First, we need a deeper understanding of our country's strategic plan so that we can act in lockstep with our country. And we have to be clear and alert to changes in the international landscape so that we can grasp the fleeting opportunities. We talk about our strength as a bridge between the world and the mainland. We should not take that edge for granted. If we rest on our laurels, the opportunities will go elsewhere, our edge will be gone. So that means the government should keep enhancing our core competitiveness. Only then will we be able to contribute to our country amid changes unseen in a century, and then we can find our opportunities. I so submit to support the motion and all amendments.
Mr. Chun-keung. Thank you, President. I am speaking on this motion on better aligning with the National Development Strategy for promoting high standard opening up. The 15 five-year plan clearly supports Hong Kong to develop as an international hub for high-caliber talents. It is a demonstration of the country's praise for Hong Kong's system. It is also important for us to find our positioning in the national development strategy. We need to both nurture and attract talents to make this happen. Today, I would like to speak specifically on how we can develop further as an international hub for high-caliber talents. First, the government needs to align with the country in establishing a talent system. The 15 five-year plan focuses on achieving high-level scientific and technological self-reliance, and we need to really develop in frontier technological areas. We need to enhance our talent policies, strengthen publicity and promotion, create a favorable living environment for talents to attract R&D talents as well as top business talents in the areas to come to Hong Kong. We can make use of international media, social media, and overseas activities to promote the unique advantage of Hong Kong being an international city. We should also promote Hong Kong's different advantages such as diversified culture and convenience in living. We should also have top talent share their success stories in Hong Kong to really showcase Hong Kong's image as a city with great opportunities. We also need to do more in nurturing talents for the long-term development of Hong Kong. We need to nurture talents for the AI era. We should develop top-notch courses in AI large models. We need to nurture our own top programming talents. We should also promote collaboration between local universities and top-notch academic institutions in the mainland overseas to develop high-level management courses in AI technology. And that's how we can nurture composite talents and how we can really build a talent pool in Hong Kong. We also need to continuously enhance our talent development ecosystem. We need to do that by combating forged qualifications to ensure fairness and credibility. We also need to make sure to provide great ancillary facilities in healthcare, education, transportation, etc., to create a favorable living environment that is ecological as well as pet friendly, for example, so as to attract elites from different parts of the world to come to Hong Kong for development. We need to, as I said earlier, combat forged qualifications. We need to work with mainland education authorities to cross-check cross-boundary academic qualifications. We need to take enforcement action against those who have made use of forged qualifications to really maintain our brand. Talents are the core for the long-term prosperity of Hong Kong. We need to seize the opportunity of the national development strategy and really strike a balance between attracting and nurturing talents, continuing to pull talents so as to help with the country's high standard opening up so that we can continue to tell good stories of Hong Kong and the country. I so submit speaking in support of the original motion and all the amendments. Mr. Wu Yingpeng. Thank you, Deputy President. I speak in support of Dr. Johnny Ng's motion and other amendments. The recent two sessions adopted the 15th five-year plan and made it a major mission to have a high standard opening up. And for the specific dedicated chapter for Hong Kong and Macau, we will have a mechanism that will continue to support Hong Kong's in-depth participation in the Belt and Road Initiative. Hong Kong has to find its positioning with the support of the country to better integrate into development of the country. We have the advantage of practicing one country, two systems. We have all along been the gateway for the country for high-level opening up. We have the common law system that is very sound. We have bilingual legal talents. We also have a top Asia Pacific International Legal and Dispute Resolution Center. This is how we can continue to be competitive. With the high quality development of the country and high standard opening up of the country, we will have a much bigger market in future. Unfortunately, we may also face challenges such as having sanctions imposed by countries in the West. It is very important that we protect the interests of Chinese citizens and enterprises overseas, and Hong Kong as the only common law jurisdiction in China and the Asia Pacific's top International Legal and Dispute Resolution Center, we have a key role in the opening up of the country. We need to better leverage on our functions. We need to first enhance our functions as an international legal service hub. We need to actively participate in the country's legal system and help mainland enterprises go global. We need to seize the opportunity of the International Organization for Mediation being established in Hong Kong to support Hong Kong's in-depth participation in the standard setting of commercial rules, to make good use of the law to provide great legal protection for the enterprises in the country. We also need to deepen cooperation between the mainland and Hong Kong on nurturing legal talents, to have composite talents that have knowledge and skills in different legal areas, make use of law tech and compliance tech to improve the quality of legal services so that our legal services can continue to serve the country's high standard opening up. I also submit speaking in support of the motion and amendments. Mr. Hong In, thank you. Deputy President, the 15th five-year plan consolidates and enhances Hong Kong's traditional advantages in certain areas. It also specifies clear directions for the development of Hong Kong in future. This is a great opportunity provided to us by the country. It is also important that we play a role of a platform for the country's development and high standard opening up. We have seen rapid AI developments in recent years, and the innovation and technology sector has also become core in the policy of the government. The budget also launched a number of measures, such as the setting up of the AI committee, as well as having Hong Kong become a manufacturing innovation center, as well as an injection of $10 billion to expedite the development of various technological parks in Hong Kong. We should really combine the manufacturing capabilities of the Greater Bay Area and Hong Kong's advantages to promote technological innovation. And then we'll have an edge in frontier technological areas. We are now in a new era of AI where we are upgrading and transforming traditional industries, and we are trying to have AI for industries as well as industries empowering AI for the high quality development of the local economy. We have, under the National 15 5-year plan session, we have retail companies as well as small and medium-sized enterprise operators identifying the development of AI being a great opportunity, but they are also concerned with the use of AI tools. It will increase costs, affect their business, and they are also concerned about it being hard for them to take up such tools. The government needs to proactively respond to enterprises' needs and launch measures to provide targeted support for enterprises, so that for enterprises who cannot choose from the many options, the government can work with industrial associations to provide perhaps AI templates and provide limited free use of applications for trials by small and medium enterprises that will lower the trial and error costs, and it can also encourage enterprises to embrace AI. With the shortage of talents, the government can extend the arrangements of the Productivity Council for small and medium enterprises to have university students and IT professionals to provide one-stop support to enterprises, including providing diagnostic tools and recommended installations. Even with a small team with professional guidance, enterprises should be able to set up AI so as to make use of AI. Through the AI R&D Institute, the government can set up a one-stop small and medium-sized AI startup platform and provide AI solutions from local startups and large enterprises alike to subsidize eligible enterprises in making use of AI tools so that small and medium-sized enterprises can identify suitable solutions for themselves more easily. Deputy President, I expect small and medium-sized enterprises of Hong Kong can make use of AI to become a demonstration base for the country's high standard opening up. I so submit speaking in support of the original motion and amendments. Mr. Sunny Tan.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy. The 15th five-year plan has a dedicated chapter for high standard opening up. 4 strategic directions are identified. First, institution opening up. Second, high quality in businesses, and also creating a community of shared future for humanity. There's also a reference to the mechanism for Hong Kong to better integrate into national development. And here are my ideas on how we can achieve that. First, we need new protocol to align with our country's innovation. In practice and protocol, we are aligned with the global community. We should identify specific sectors and we should do pilots to achieve mutual recognition of standards and convergence of protocols. That will help us to achieve soft connectivity in protocol and rules between the mainland and the world. We can look at the loop area. We can use that as a testing ground. That place is the only spot in our country where they have two systems running in parallel. So we can look at the experience in the loop. We can explore having some mainland data come here. We can align rules and protocols in that area so that Hong Kong can serve as a super connector. We can also help overseas businesses on certain matters. We know the U.S. started the tariff war, so overseas businesses want safe havens overseas. They want to diversify. Hong Kong is highly internationalized, so we can be a launch pad for overseas businesses looking to tap the mainland market. Overseas businesses can see that Hong Kong is the only part of China where a common law system is in place. We have a low tax and we also have the CEPA advantage. The Greater Bay Area is also a strategic fulcrum of new policies and new measures. So overseas businesses can take Hong Kong and set up the regional headquarters here, and then they can expand the business into other parts of the mainland. So let's make the most of our two systems. We should be more than an entrepot. We should be a place for overseas businesses to tap the mainland market. The mainland is ahead of overseas countries in laws about AI. So we should do our part. We should help overseas businesses looking to move to the mainland. And we should help mainland businesses to go global. There are more than 50 million micro and small and medium businesses. Those businesses struggle with different institutions and rules overseas. Hong Kong is highly internationalized. We have the 8 centers. We can help those struggling mainland businesses. We can offer services and we can play a part in this high quality drive in expansion into the Belt and Road countries. In textile and garment, we hold conferences each year. We talk to the mainland and we talk to ASEAN partners to help mainland businesses go global by going to those ASEAN countries. So maybe authorities can help trade associations to connect businesses. We can find a way that makes sense to the world and we spread our message. We should also foster track 2 diplomacy, meaning exchanges at the community level so that we have more platforms for exchanges. To serve our role as a bridge, we should double down on our international outlook in our culture, in our language, and we enhance our core competitiveness as the most internationalized city of our world, and that's how we can help our country with high standard opening up, and then we can contribute to our country. I so submit and support the motion and all amendments.
永嘉議員。
多謝主席，全國人。
Mr. Jamie Ng. The National People's Congress approved the 15th Five-Year Plan. That plan laid down goals and also set out directions for Hong Kong. There are some goals. One of them is achieving results in technological strength and self-reliance. There's a chapter specifically on Hong Kong and Macau that shows the high expectations our country has of Hong Kong. So we should align with the country's strategy and identify new opportunities. Let's look at the outline. There is support for Hong Kong to enhance its competitiveness. The key word is consolidating and enhancing our competitiveness. there are geopolitical changes and we have to be more resilient. We should be focusing on R&B business, green businesses, and we should focus on green shipping and maritime insurance. We should promote digital finance, and we should also contribute to our country's development. Our country has rolled out preferential policies for Hong Kong. We should do more to contribute to our country. We should make the most of the loop. We should focus on cutting-edge technology to contribute to our country's I&T drive. Now I turn to more operational measures. The Chief Executive announced plans to draft our first 5-year plan. Policy bureaus are working on this. We should be rooting for our bureaus. Drafting our own 5-year plan requires incorporating the spirit from our country's development law. We should be united and work towards the same goal. In terms of goals, policies, objectives, our 5-year plan should be aligned with those of the National 5-year plan. We should consult extensively. We should hear from businesses, trades, and the public. The Chief Executive proposed a mechanism for the government and the legislature to work together, engaging views. That will give us a better picture of what people think. So businesses should play a more active role, and we can all provide ideas. And we should be dynamically adapt to new situations. A 5-year plan covers a long time. We have to make sure the budget and policy address and blueprint each year meet the needs of our country, and we should enhance our strengths. The National Development Planning Law stresses adapting to local conditions. We have to distinguish ourselves as an international financial, shipping, and trade center, and we should also focus on culture and art. We should find new growth areas and find new impetus for growth. On fresh impetus, we should focus on 3 tasks. First, more detailed plans. We should focus on top-level design, and we need more detailed execution plans. We have to be thorough in planning. And then the community will be able to support our plan. We have to double down on our core capability in technology and also our soft power in culture. We should use different brands to tell Hong Kong stories. We should also deepen collaboration. This means deepening collaboration with other GBA cities. We should focus on businesses, and we should give the market a role to play. The government should come up with a legal framework for the 5-year plan so that the plan does not change with different personnel changes across departments. I so submit, I support the motion, all amendments. Dr. Webster. Mr. Deputy, I support Dr. Johnny Ng's motion. Our country's 5-year plan stresses high standard opening up and achieving mutually beneficial cooperation. And we have to go beyond our role as a connector. We have to focus on institutional innovation and value adding, so that we can be a super value adder and super connector. I'm from the accounting sector. Our core strength lies in internationally reputable professional services. And here are my suggestions. I see 3 pillars. First, in disclosure, accounting, and auditing, and compliance, we can be an international platform. With the complicated geopolitical landscape, businesses face many risks, including financial reporting, tax, anti-money laundering practices, data compliance, and sustainable disclosure. Our institutions are aligned with global practice. Our systems are globally trusted. Data is the most reliable source. Last year, there were 119 initial public offers, up 68 from 2024, and we raised more than $280 billion Hong Kong dollars, up more than 20% from the year before. We topped the global leaderboard in IPO last year. And this year, we will see hundreds of businesses raising money here, and they will be raising $32 to $35 billion this year. That shows our capacity in fundraising. That also shows the confidence that global capital has in our institutions and in our legal system. The government should come up with the alliance of professional services covering accounting, tax, and compliance, as well as risk management, so that Hong Kong can become a platform as a trusted partner in compliance, and companies can set up their regional headquarters here. Second, we should be looking at ESG. We are competitive in this area. High standard opening up is about protocol and standards, and we have to be aligned with the outside world. There's growing attention to ESG compliance that plays a role in valuation and investors' decisions. We are among the jurisdictions following the ISSB. We have the first mover advantage. We have to move beyond just alignment. We should be the leader in ESG compliance standards, as well as green certification. This is more than just about services. We should be taking the lead to help our country in such development. We should turn this into our irreplaceable strength. My third pillar is to anchor our development in the 4 centers and 1 hub. Being a super connector means we need connections. Being a super value adder means we should provide high value added and highly trusted professional services. We create value. Professional services is a process where you turn volume into value. So when you look at intellectual property, legal services, and dispute resolution services, or asset management, everything comes down to accounting, valuation, tax compliance. So in digital trade and green finance, we should leverage the strength we have in professional services. The government should seize this opportunity by incorporating cross-boundary professional services, ESG, and compliance into our plans. We should also enhance the mechanism of the Go Global Task Force. Let's provide more practical support for businesses. We need clearer guidelines so that we can consolidate Hong Kong's unique role in our country's high standard opening up. I so submit.
多謝主席。
Mr. Chan Pui-lan. Thank you, Mr. Deputy. The 15th five-year plan was just published. It set out the blueprint and action agenda for the next 5 years of our country's development. We should become more proactive and contribute to the country's development. The chief executive is leading various policy bureaus in formulating the Hong Kong's 5-year plan. I hope that when we dovetail with our country's development strategies, the government will listen to views from different sectors and offer strategic positioning for Hong Kong's development. Insurance industry is one of the major pillars of Hong Kong under 15th five-year plan. We must better leverage on our advantage of having the support of our country and being closely connected to the world. We need to serve our country, and we need to provide deep service for promoting high standard opening up of our country. It was said in the 15th five-year plan that we need to offer comprehensive medical insurance system. The government and the sector must grasp the opportunities and respond to the need of the community. We need to offer elderly dedicated accident insurance, and we need to develop aged community, aging in home, geotechnological products to meet the insurance needs of residents on both sides. The 15th five-year plan talks about how we should develop into a international risk management center. The insurance sector can leverage on our advantages in risk management and give full play to our dual role as a platform for bringing in and going global. We have the capabilities to become Asia's first and leading captive insurance hub. Apart from that, the insurance trade should proactively help mainland enterprises go global. They should leverage on their management experience, techniques, and risk management skills to help mainland enterprises go global so that we can better play our super connector and super value adder role. I agree with what Mr. Chang Hok-fong said, in the sense that we need to consolidate our status as an international maritime hub by developing maritime insurance and developing high-end maritime services. As the Middle East conflict became more serious, many international maritime insurance institutions have been tightening the war risk insurance, and the premium have grown by 10 times. Our country has the largest fleet in the world. In order to encourage more mainland fleet takeout in maritime insurance in Hong Kong, I think that we have to encourage more Chinese insurance companies develop more different types of maritime insurance service to consolidate our status as international risk management center. Talent is the cornerstone of development. However, we don't have enough maritime insurance talents, and this becomes the bottleneck for the trade development. As we develop ourselves into an international hub of high caliber talent, we need to grow a pool of maritime insurance talents. And I hope that the administration will work with the sector to roll out more tertiary maritime insurance programs and introduce international experienced talents to Hong Kong so that we can nurture the relevant experts in Hong Kong such that we can serve our country's high-quality development. I so submit. Mr. Alex Fan. Thank you, Deputy President. I support the motion and all the amendments. We just launched the 15th five-year plan, and in the plan it talks about how we should further develop Hong Kong into an international legal and dispute resolution center. This shows that Hong Kong has a very important role to play in the country's high standard opening up, and we are going from a supporter to a facilitator. It is also said in the plan that we should support the development of Belt and Road Initiative. In order to implement the blueprint and give full play to our advantages, I think that we have to work on three different areas. First, we have to strengthen institutional alignment and boost international trust in our rule of law. In recent years, many Middle East and new market capital has been flowing towards lower risk markets. And I think that we should establish a recognition mechanism. At the same time, we need to work with the Greater Bay Area to connect and align our standards to consolidate our status as a bridge between the mainland and the rest of the world. Second, we need to promote high standard connection of professional service network. In the 15th five-year plan, it is said that we need to promote international industry and investment agreement and cooperation. It is said that in professional service institutions on legal services and dispute resolutions were encouraged to develop overseas network. We have a mature professional service system and international network. We can give full play to our advantage to serve our country. We can be a transit for mainland enterprises to go global. We can be a springboard. Before mainland enterprises go global, they can take a stop in Hong Kong. We can offer dispute services to them. We can offer them training on international rules. Second, I think that we can help mainland enterprises enhance their international service capabilities. Hong Kong is a common law jurisdiction. We can help mainland enterprises understand due diligence practices in the rest of the world. Third, I think that we can help the Hong Kong professional industry go global. With the support of the International Mediation Center in Hong Kong, we can further develop our market in the Middle East and the Belt and Road countries. The third action that we should take is that we should strengthen legal empowerment and participate in the building of a foreign legal system on the mainland. In Chapter 58 of the 15th Five-Year Plan, it is said that we should speed up the development of foreign legal system in the mainland. Hong Kong is the only place in our country that practice common law, and we have the richest resources on foreign laws. So I think that we need to create more courses to nurture talents on foreign laws. The International Organization of Mediation headquarters was set up in Hong Kong. I think that we can organize an international summit and also develop professional recognition courses. We need to promote and extend the application of adopting Hong Kong laws for Hong Kong enterprises to promote cross-boundary dispute resolution. President, we need to make better use of our advantages, and we need to serve our country's high standard opening up in a more targeted manner. Thank you. Next, Mr. Tam Chen Kok. Thank you, President. I speak in support of Dr. Johnny Ng's motion and the amendments proposed by other members. The two sessions just concluded, and the 15th Five-Year Plan was adopted. It sets out the blueprint and action agenda for our country's development in the next 5 years. It is said that we should develop ourselves into 4 centers and 1 hub. And it is also said that we should better integrate and serve our country. A clear guidelines was set out. One of the key missions set out in the 15th Five-Year Plan is that we should promote high standard opening up. As the freest economy in the world, we have the capabilities to fulfill the mission, and I believe that the Northern Metropolis will play a very important role. We have a comprehensive sets of legal systems, and we have free flow of capital. As we develop the Northern Metropolis, we will implement this approach of having a dual engine in Hong Kong with finance in the south and INT in the north. We should help enterprises raise funds, and we can leverage on the Northern Metropolis, the Santin Technopole, and Hong Joong to develop a comprehensive INT ecosystem. We can create room for INT enterprises to conduct R&D and commercialization of those results and outcome. We should continue to attract overseas top-notch enterprises to set up presence in Hong Kong, and we should work with mainland enterprises so that they can leverage on international resources and go global. This approach of bringing in and going global is how we can promote high standard opening up of our country. Many members talked about how we should work with mainland enterprises, help them go global, connect our standards with that of the Greater Bay Area. We have the Invest Hong Kong, the Trade Development Council. We have 14 economic and trade offices. These are the platforms that we can leverage on to showcase Hong Kong to the overseas enterprises and how we can launch promotional campaigns. Coupled with the Go Global Task Force and the platform, I believe that we can further promote our professional services. Talent is also one of the important elements in promoting high standards opening up. In the 15th five-year plan, it is said that we should develop ourselves into a hub for high-caliber talent. We are going to develop a Northern Metropolis University town. I think that this will serve as a platform for different top-notch tertiary institutions to co-organize programs, and it will be a platform for INT exchanges. This is how we can transform our education advantages into a growing engine for our country to develop itself into a education superpower. At the same time, this is how we can nurture the next generation with international perspective. President, the SAR government is developing its own Hong Kong's 15th five-year plan to dovetail with the national 15th five-year plan. I believe that the Northern Metropolis will be a major element in that, and with the dedicated legislation, we can achieve breakthroughs and relax barriers so that it can become a demonstration zone for the high-level opening up of our country. I so submit. Thank you.
Mr. Andrew Fan. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Johnny NG for proposing today's motion. We now see the National 15th Five-Year Plan moving full steam ahead. It is an important strategy for the country's high-quality development. It is also very important for the long-term development of the city of Hong Kong. We have the advantages of practicing one country, two systems, and being backed by the country and connected to the world. We have a good professional services and global network. We have the conditions to play a bigger role in the country's opening up. We need to actively align with the national strategy to better support the country's development. Under the National 15th Five-Year Plan, Hong Kong not only has to contribute to the opening up of the country, we also need to have a breakthrough in quality development. We are an important bridge for bringing in capital and investment and helping enterprises go global. We need to move further in the National 15th Five-Year Plan period. We need to have a full-on upgrade. First of all, for offshore R&B business, we really need to consolidate our status as the hub for this kind of business to provide professional support to mainland enterprises. We can also leverage on our advantages in legal and accountancy services to help strategic enterprises in the Greater Bay Area to develop the Belt and Road market. We also need to invest more in nurturing talents. We need to promote the integration of education, technology, and talents. In view of the current geopolitical situation, we can be more proactive in attracting top-notch R&D institutions and talents. We should work hard to collaborate with other institutions to nurture high-end talents and strengthen R&D outcomes to have a good transformation mechanism so that we can pull talents to serve the country, to have a smoother dual circulation both domestically and internationally. It is important to safeguard national security, and Hong Kong in the current geopolitical landscape is on the front lines. We are prone to external interference risks and impact. We need to strengthen the local national security system, incorporate national security elements in the curricula of primary and secondary schools as well as tertiary institutions, promote national security education, and promote national security development interests in different parts of the community so that we can maintain stability while we continue to promote high standard opening up. Most of the amendments proposed by members, I support them, but for what Mr. Kenneth Falk said, I have some reservations. I hope that the government, before accepting his views, can really refer to Articles 128 to 135 of the Basic Law to make sure we comply with the one country, two systems principle and Basic Law. The Chief Executive said earlier, we will promulgate the first 5-year plan for Hong Kong to align with the 15 5-year plan. I have great expectations. I hope that while we comply with the Constitution and the Basic Law, we will have more measures that can help the country open up further and to help the country develop and revitalize. I so submit. Thank you, Deputy President, Ms. Maggie Chen. Thank you, Deputy President. I speak in support of Dr. Johnny Ng's motion and other amendments. The National 15 5-year plan is a development blueprint for the country and clearly supports Hong Kong in consolidating its competitive advantages and better integrate into and serve the development of the country. We should leverage on the unique advantage of us being backed by the country and connected to the world and consolidate and enhance our status as the 4 centers and 1 hub and make the Greater Bay Area into a world-class cluster. The SAR government will soon promulgate its first 5-year plan. I have some suggestions. One, we really leverage on our advantage of being an international financial center to build a silver economy ecosystem. We should leverage on our advantages in the international capital market to boost the elderly care industry in the mainland. We should encourage more smart elderly services facilities enterprises to list in Hong Kong and issue offshore renminbi bonds. We should also look into securitization of assets so that for eligible mainland elderly care infrastructure facility enterprises can issue REITs to provide more channels for global investors to invest in such assets. Third, we need to have a cross-boundary financial mechanism so that we have a collateral mechanism to tie annuities in Hong Kong with elderly funds in the mainland so that Hong Kong elderly persons retiring in the mainland can still have access to their funds. We also need to enhance protection against credit risks for the benefit of Hong Kong's position as an international trade center. We should have a joint work platform in the hotel corporation zone and make good use of cargo eggs to have data create credit. And we can have more international trade service providers participate in the initiative and set up a more detailed due diligence and risk warning system to provide better risk assessments for enterprises planning to go global. We should also develop more diversified export credit insurance products to better cover emerging markets such as Southeast Asia and East Africa. 3, We need to enhance high-quality cooperation in the He-Tao Cooperation Zone and with the Northern Metropolis. We should set up a compliance and flow center to facilitate the flow of data and to have Hong Kong play the gatekeeper role for biological data security of the country. And we should also accept RMB denominated gold trading to enhance our functions as a gold reserve for the country as well as offshore renminbi hub. For we need to deepen our status as an international legal and dispute resolution center. We should have a new international arbitration center in the He-Tao Cooperation Zone. We should also support mainland arbitration organizations to set up regional headquarters in Hong Kong to upgrade the international arbitration services in Hong Kong to become an industry. We also need to deepen the arrangements for making use of Hong Kong law for Hong Kong invested enterprises, as well as having Hong Kong as a seat of arbitration. We should set up a comprehensive professional services complex in He-Tao to provide one-stop services to enterprises planning to go global. Deputy President, I so submit. Mr. Christie. Deputy President, the MPC recently adopted the 15 five-year plan. It demonstrates that we have officially promulgated the National 15 five-year plan, and Hong Kong has an important mission of actively aligning with the National 15 five-year plan. Dr. Johnny NG proposed today's motion comes at a right timing, and we really should pull our wisdom for the future development of Hong Kong. In a dedicated chapter for Hong Kong and Macau in the National 15 five-year plan, Hong Kong should develop further as an East meets West center for international cultural exchange. This shows the country is making good use of the city with its unique advantage of being an international metropolis. It is an important gateway for Chinese culture and arts. It is also a center for international cultural exchange. It will play an especially important role in the revitalization of the country. We need to seize the opportunity and really make sure we do well in developing Hong Kong as an East meets West center for international cultural exchange. In this year's budget, the government proposed that Hong Kong, as the third largest art trading hub, we need to explore further what we can do. And I think this is the first step we're going to take. We cannot, however, rely only on one or two policies to have good results. We need to have comprehensive plans to really help mainland culture and arts go global. We have some artists who are stationed in Hong Kong and hold foreign passports. When they have local performing arts groups going to the mainland for performance, there are still some institutional barriers. It has really hurt local performance arts troops in integrating into the development of the country. It does not help with the integration of the Greater Bay Area. I think the government can consider having a whitelist registration mechanism for non-Chinese nationality artists, and we can pilot some arrangements to remove the legal and rule barriers that would impede cultural and arts exchanges between the mainland and Hong Kong. The Arts Development Council is also a statutory body set up by the government to promote the development of arts locally. Right now, it is approving subsidies and doing other work. Let me declare I am Deputy Chairman of the Arts Development Council. Seeing how we are to further develop as an Eats Meets West Center for international cultural exchange, we really need to enhance the functions of the Arts Development Council and provide one-stop service to arts troupes of different scales to perform in the Greater Bay Area. The council can provide immigration facilitation as well as partner with commercial partners in the mainland to really help local arts troupes perform in the Greater Bay Area. We can also have the council assist other mainland troupes to perform in Hong Kong and have exchanges with overseas arts troupes. The government needs to have a more macro strategic and forward-looking plan, and we'll soon have the first 5-year plan for the city. In the first 5-year plan for the city, we need to remove the legal and rule barriers that would impede the cultural and arts exchanges between Guangdong and Hong Kong and enhance the functions of Arts Development Council so as to really aid the city's initiative in developing into an international cultural exchange center. I still am speaking in support of the motion and other amendments. Dr. Tom So.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy. I speak in support of the motion and the amendment. This year marks the beginning of the National 15th Five-Year Plan. The HKSL government is moving full steam ahead with drafting its own first 5-year plan. This is in support of our country's push to achieve high standard opening up. We should give play to our unique edge in one country, two systems. We should do what we do best to serve our country's needs. One key area is to strengthen Hong Kong's role as a legal and dispute resolution services center. A solid rule of law or legal system will reassure investors, and this will help us become the 4 centers in one hub. Here are my thoughts. We should be pooling legal resources in Hong Kong. Last year, the International Organization for Mediation was set up in Hong Kong. 33 countries have signed the IOMED Convention to become founding members of IOMED. And CHUNG will also set up its Asia-Pacific Liaison Office in Hong Kong. We should get more international legal and dispute resolution organizations to set up offices in Hong Kong. And that will raise Hong Kong's profile as an international hub for legal services. We also need better legal support for the Northern Metropolis. The Northern Metropolis is now a mission of national importance, and we will only move ever faster with the NM. There's a 30-kilometer boundary between Hong Kong and Shenzhen, and there are 7 land control points. The NM will be home to a lot of people, a Unitown and tech clusters. We should facilitate the flow of factors of innovation, and we should rationalize the barriers. We should remove the barriers. We also need the legal support to go hand in hand with the NM. Businesses and people who settle in the new NM will need court services. With the rise of AI, there will also be new demand for dispute resolution services. But we have yet to see plans about courts in the Northern Metropolis. Our first 5-year plan should cover this area and plan ahead. Now, we should also focus on our role as an international innovation and technology center. Going digital is the wave of the future. The Secretary for Justice set up a cross-departmental working group on legal matters related to the rise of artificial intelligence. The legal sector of Hong Kong should leverage technology to boost efficiency in collaboration. Our professional services have a national mission to bring in outside businesses and help our mainland businesses go global, but we don't have enough resources. We need more resources under our own 5-year plan for our professional services to go digital. And we need a roadmap and a timeline to keep up with technological changes. We need a business environment where we can strengthen business confidence. We need the rule of law. This is our bedrock, and this will support our efforts to contribute to our country. Hong Kong can play a key role here. I so submit. Mr. Kenneth Lau. Mr. Deputy, the 15th 5-year plan expressly supports Hong Kong's effort to consolidate and enhance its role as a financial, shipping, and trade center, and also an INT center, as well as an international hub for high-caliber talent. So when our government formulates our own 5-year plan, we should work on these areas. We should leverage our strength in being an international city, and we should support our country's strategy of high standard opening up, and we should better integrate international development. On finance and economics, our country will move faster in building strength in finance. There will be efforts to foster mutual market access between Hong Kong and the mainland. We should be a more proactive super connector, and we should play a role in risk management. There are 3 tasks we can do. First, we should strengthen our role as an offshore business hub. We need more products denominated in RMB. We should promote the internationalization of RMB. We should promote international regulatory frameworks, and we should attract mainland green businesses to come here for financing. We should also leverage our strength in legal and arbitration services. We should offer support to overseas businesses looking to go to the mainland and mainland businesses looking to go global. For that, the Northern Metropolis will be a key engine of growth. And the NM will be where INT will happen. We can work with Shenzhen on transformation of INT outcomes. We should focus on bio and health technology, AI, and robotics. Shenzhen can leverage Hong Kong's edge in basic research and financing. That's how we can speed up the transformation of INT R&D outcomes so that the Northern Metropolis can support our country's development and also help drive global innovation. The low-altitude economy has become a new pillar industry. We have rolled out a number of pilots. We have achieved results. The Northern Metropolis can become a hub for the low-altitude economy. We can pilot cross-boundary delivery with drones, and we can also offer rides on drones in the low-altitude economy. And then we can bring together places like the Robin's Nest and Daxiameisha in Shenzhen. We can develop new itineraries for sightseeing involving the low-altitude economy. We can showcase the beautiful China. Finance will need talent to flourish. We should also work towards the goal of becoming an international hub for high-caliber talent. During the 15th five-year plan, we need more proactive talent policies. For finance, shipping, trade, and I&T, we should attract talent in those areas. We need bespoke programs to attract talent, and that means streamlining visa and settlement arrangements. We should offer competitive support in education, housing, etc. We should also step up nurturing local talent. Let's provide more resources for vocational training, and we should make adjustments to programs. We should step up collaboration and internships with other cities of the GBA. We need to nurture talent with global perspective and people who also know our country's development, so that Hong Kong becomes a place where the East meets the West. Hong Kong should leverage its role and its edge as the bridge between the mainland and Hong Kong during the 15th five-year plan. We should focus on the 4 centers and 1 hub. We should tell Hong Kong's story and China's story well. I so submit and support the motion and amendments. Mr. Stephen Ho. Just like other members, I support the motion today. Many members highlighted the 15th five-year plan. Hong Kong will also draft its own 5-year plan this year. So in future policy addresses and elections of chief executives, they will have to double down on this area. Each term of the chief executive lasts only 5 years, so they should also treat the 5-year plan as a parameter. We have a late start in drafting our 5-year plan. So how do we go beyond just a slogan when it comes to the 5-year plan to align with global practice? Then we will also need more convergence with the mainland in our rules and protocols. The first place to start has to do with convergence. We talked about the Civil Service College and training for the civil service. Let's take the initiative for Guangdong cars coming to Hong Kong. We went too far in regulation. So sculptors hoarded same-day or rather discs at the transport department because this access to Hong Kong licenses carry extra value. This difference in rules has given rise to problems, and we're just talking about vehicle licenses. What about vessels licenses? Shenzhen and Zhuhai came to us time and again asking us to make progress with yachts. Hainan Island will become a special zone soon. It already has a special status now. Our regulatory framework is behind the curve, and that's holding us back. So to be a super connector, we will have to align our protocols. These invisible barriers are hurting our efficiency. We have departments here, so I urge those departments to sort out their tasks. We cannot be expected to tell you all the problems you have. People and businesses are held back by obstacles. Talk to different industries, find out about where people are struggling, and sort out these issues. Now let's talk about the legislation for the Northern Metropolis. That's a step in the right direction for us to overcome barriers. We have various laws on fire safety, land, etc. At sea, similar constraints apply. Our country has developed technologies, but those technologies cannot be used in Hong Kong. We cannot showcase the technologies. We have yet to see autonomous vessels. you still need several people on board larger vessels. Our tender documents are outdated. We require a certain number of people on board. Do companies get extra points if they use technology? But the tendering conditions require a certain number of people on board the vessels. You still see someone in their 60s and 70s sweeping the street in Tama. How is that technology? Autonomous cars and vessels are in use elsewhere. We need an industry cluster, an industry park, but we lack the talent for an industry park. Take the food industry. There's a zone for the food industry in the northern metropolis. We talked about the idea in 2024, and we're still talking about the framework in 2026. We talked about the matter at the panel on food and environmental hygiene. No progress. We don't have a submarine yet. Your time is up.
Dr. Hui Simon Lee. Thank you, President. There are many beautiful shopping malls on the mainland. Their design comes from our large-scale shopping malls. They also adopted our management experience and model. Our experience and our international business network has been very useful to the mainland's high standard opening up and reform. We have been helping mainland enterprises go global and bringing in international enterprises. We have unique opportunities and capabilities to design rules. High standard opening up is not just about circulation of products and capital, but also formulation of standards and rules. Against the backdrop of high standard opening up, Hong Kong can become a strategic fulcrum for standard setting for our country. First, we should be the leader in rule alignment. We are the only common law jurisdictions in our country. Our rule of law is connected to the international business trade. Say, for example, since 2022, the United Nations International Goods Trading Agreement have been adopted in Hong Kong, and this shows that Hong Kong has been sharing the same international trading rules with the rest of the world. We have a very good scenery for use cases, so for mainland enterprises to try out international business in Hong Kong, and they can experience what it's like to do business in other countries. Hong Kong is a platform that adopts international business rules. And this is how we can help mainland enterprises go global and how we can help them integrate into the international system. Second, we should become an international dispute resolution center. In October 2025, the International Organization of Mediation established its headquarters in Hong Kong. The organization focuses on mediation among governments. This showcases international society's trust in Hong Kong, and this also marks Hong Kong's advancement from a bridge of, physical bridge to an institutional bridge. We have incorporated our culture into international dispute resolution, and we have plugged the loopholes in the international system. Hong Kong can leverage on the International Organization of Mediation and the Hague Council to contribute our experience. Third, as we are reshaping the international rules on digital economy, green finance, artificial intelligence, or new areas as such, we have much opportunities to set new rules, and we are actively participating in the drafting of rules of digital economic partnership agreement. We have internationalized professionals, and our standards and rules are very internationalized as well. So we can leverage on our experience in frontier areas such as ESG, ISSB, flow of data, stable coins, so on and so forth. Our Hong Kong Monetary Authority has been working with the International Settlement Bank on developing a framework on digital cross-boundary payment of renminbi. From international convention to international organizations, we are leveraging on our unique advantage under one country's two system to participate in the rule setting in the world and contribute to our country's high standard opening up. Thank you. Ms. Michelle Tan. Thank you, President. The MPC just passed the 15th five-year plan. Chapter 59 of the plan talks about how country will support Hong Kong and Macau better integrate into the country's development. To better dovetail with the 15th five-year plan, the chief executive said that we are going to develop our own 5-year plan. Yesterday, he announced that a opinion collecting mechanism will be established between the government and the Legislative Council. I recognize and support the move. I think that we must find our position amidst national development. We need to leverage on our institutional advantage and professional capabilities to serve our country. I have 3 suggestions. First, we have to give full play to our advantage of being an international platform and experience in providing professional services. We have to dovetail with the standards and systems in the Greater Bay Area. Our greatest advantage lies with our systems that is very internationalized, and I think that the SAR government should foster alignment in terms of standards with other cities in the Greater Bay Area. We need to set a set of GBA standards that cover finance, trading, laws, engineering, so on and so forth, so that we can become a efficient business environment to promote cross-boundary flow of people. And we need to improve our cross-boundary payment and settlement, and we need to set up a common risk management system. We need to leverage on our physical infrastructures as well. We have to promote air, sea, land, intermodal logistics, and the cluster development of the Greater Bay Area. We have to consolidate our position as an international aviation hub. Northern Metropolis as the future, as the growth engine of Hong Kong, we have to work with Shenzhen to implement a new quality productive forces. We need to develop and attract more international projects on biomedicine, low-altitude economy, and other industries to take place in Hong Kong. We need to help mainland enterprises go global, and we want to bring in international enterprises to the mainland. We have a Go Global task force, but we need a more systematic set of strategies. The government must work with mainland authorities to establish a high-level collaboration mechanism. We need to streamline our vetting procedures, and we need to offer more facilitation measures on deployment of capital and people. The SAR government can consolidate resources of the TGC, the Invest Hong Kong, and other professional bodies to set up a one-stop platform to resolve disputes. And the government should roll out measures to encourage Hong Kong enterprises to work with mainland ones to develop new markets along the Belt and Road countries and ASEAN as well as the Middle East. I think that we should also establish branches on the encourage Hong Kong enterprises to establish branches in other countries. The SAR government should also make use of our position as a bridge, as a center where East meets the West, and we should make use of our Hong Kong Palace Museum in the West Kowloon Cultural District to promote the influence of our culture. The government should also support local creative industries to transform intangible heritage into products with market value. We should integrate the Hong Kong culture with the Chinese traditional culture so that we can tell good stories of Hong Kong and our country. I so submit. Professor William Wong. Thank you, President. This year marks the beginning of the implementation of the National 15th Five-Year Plan. It stresses promotion of high standards opening up. There is a chapter on Hong Kong and Macau, and it is said that we have to leverage our advantage of having the support of our motherland and being closely connected to the world. And our 8-center positioning highlights how important Hong Kong is to our country. So we should leverage on our advantages and help promote the high standard opening up of our country. I have a few suggestions. First, we need to promote R&D in Hong Kong. We have 5 top 100 universities in Hong Kong. We have strong R&D capabilities. We have an internationalized R&D environment that can facilitate international I&T collaboration. We have all the advantages to attract international researchers here. Recently, the government promoted the Northern Metropolis to strengthen I&T investment. And we are also promoting the commercialization of R&D outcome. However, given limited space here, we need to work with other cities in the Greater Bay Area. We have to connect Hong Kong laboratories with those on the mainland so that we can become a global I&T hub. Second, we need to establish a cross-boundary IP trading platform. We have to bring cultural IP global, and this is how we can promote cultural export. The 15th Five-Year Plan sets that we are going to promote international literature, comics, entertainment, and industries alike, and we're going to promote them in the international market. We have seen great achievements in the entertainment and creative industries on the mainland. We have IP like Naja, and we have also other IP that we should promote in the overseas market. IP in Hong Kong is protected in under the Intellectual Property Ordinance in the common law system. So we have all the conditions to promote IP trading. So I think that the government should work with the mainland authorities to establish a cross-boundary IP trading platform so that we can consolidate rich resources on IP in the Greater Bay Area to solve the problems of high trading costs and complicated transaction procedures faced by mainland ITP enterprises. This is how we can promote IP of our country. Third, we need to face up to the challenges posed by geopolitical tensions in the world. In recent years, the U.S. adopted unitarianism, and that affected their relationship with their allies. So I think that we should grasp the opportunities. We have to seize chances in, say, offshore renminbi, transaction, AI, professional services. We need to play a role as a super connector and super value adder to help mainland enterprises go global and bring in international enterprises. We need to be proactive, and we need to facilitate international investment and cooperation. President, Hong Kong should play a role and integrate into the national development. Lastly, I support the Hong Kong's 5-year plan to be developed by the Chief Executive. I so submit. Thank you.
Professor Michael I. Thank you, President. In promoting high standard opening up the country against this backdrop, feels it is very important to have institutional opening up of the financial sector, and the vibrancy of the capital market development will not only affect Hong Kong, but is also an important part of the country's initiative to upgrade its real economy and attract different factors input to the country. And Hong Kong is very attractive to international enterprises. We have especially seen popularity in listing for Southeast Asian and Belt and Road countries' enterprises. Hong Kong should be proactive in enhancing its institution and developing its market to make it more attractive for listing for overseas enterprises and make Hong Kong into a capital financing platform. We also need to align ourselves with the national development strategy of high standard opening up of the country. There are a few things we can do. One, the Hong Kong EX has included a number of exchanges in Singapore, Indonesia, and Thailand in the list of recognized exchanges. We can have the government work with the HKEX to conduct more in-depth studies for relevant markets and expand the list further to cover Central Asian and Middle Eastern countries as well as other countries in the Middle East to develop further this strategy. We also need to have a target-oriented approach. The government should work with the HKEX and set up a 3-year blueprint for listing of overseas enterprises in Hong Kong. We should have indicators in market value and IPO capital raise, and we can have Invest Hong Kong and the Trade Development Council work with the relevant organizations to be more targeted in publicity and promotion. We should have tailored support for enterprises for them to develop further. We need to provide core services with our advantage of allowing companies to enter the mainland market. And for overseas enterprises who have listed in Hong Kong who comply with the relevant requirements, they can receive facilitation or they can pilot some arrangements with the recognition. We should also have industrial cooperation activities to promote integration with the industrial chain in the mainland. For certain overseas companies having listed in Hong Kong, they do not see active trading, and it's very hard for them to conduct further financing. We should have more support measures so that the enterprises can issue products on top of stocks such as bonds and derivatives so that they can have continuous financing so as to really leverage on our status as an international capital market. It will also be able to channel better mainland funds, and we should develop more renminbi financial products to meet the needs of international investors. With the measures, we can enhance the attractiveness of the local capital market. We can also better incorporate the international financial center functions of Hong Kong in the development of the country and develop more uses for renminbi in Hong Kong. And Hong Kong can play a greater role in the high standard opening up of the country, especially in finance. I so submit. Thank you, President. Mr. Rock Chen. I speak in support of Dr. Johnny Ng's original motion and the different amendments. Last week, the MPC adopted the National 15 Five-Year Plan, and Premier Li Qiang said specifically in the government work report listing the high standard opening up goal as one of the 10 major goals of the country. And Hong Kong should really leverage on its mechanisms to provide professional service to help mainland enterprises go global. We have great opportunities to seize. I have 3 points to make. First, the National 15 Five-Year Plan supports Hong Kong in enhancing its status as an offshore RMB business center and an international asset management center. In 2025, we rank first in IPO capital raised in the world, and we have offshore renminbi trade turnover reaching $315 billion US. We again rank first in this. I suggest the government expand the mutual access arrangements to cover more financial products such as mainland bonds and derivatives. We should also promote the development of renminbi-denominated commodity trading ecosystem so as to deepen mutual access between the mainland and Hong Kong in the financial sector. 2. On aviation, I support Mr. Kenneth's amendments to incorporate Hong Kong International Airport in the national development strategy. And I actually propose at the MPC meeting that we should consolidate the Hong Kong International Network, Hong Kong International Airport into the mainland transportation network to really combine air and rail transport to have a seamless transition. So when visitors come to Hong Kong, they can take the airport express and it will be connected to the high-speed rail. It makes it more efficient to travel between Hong Kong and the mainland. It shortens journey. It can also consolidate Hong Kong's status as an international aviation hub. Next, on family offices and helping enterprises go global. The National 15 Five-Year Plan supports Hong Kong's development into an international asset management center. Hong Kong already has over 3,300 family offices, and they are managing a significant amount of assets. We do see a trend of even more family offices coming to Hong Kong. We really need to publicize our taxation arrangements for investment products and funds to really emphasize that it's safe to put funds in Hong Kong. We should also combine it with the demand of mainland enterprises to go global. I also support what is said in another member's amendments on enhancing the functions of global task force to develop the emerging and Belt and Road markets as well. The Global Task Force should conduct geopolitical risk assessments, and make good use of the international organization for mediation so that Hong Kong can truly become a risk buffer zone for enterprises going global. President, we should leverage on our strengths to serve the country's needs. And this is the first year that we will have a 5-year plan. And in different areas, finance, aviation, family offices, enterprises going global, they are all interrelated, and we really need concerted efforts to make the efforts successful. I so submit. Mr. Aaron Bok. As we see a successful conclusion of the 2 sessions, we see the promulgation of the National 15 5-year plan. The plan supports Hong Kong in enhancing its status as an international financial and trade centers. It also supports Hong Kong to develop an international INT Center and expedite the development of the Northern Metropolis. The chief executive said the National 15 5-year plan raised a series of measures to promote the long-term prosperity of Hong Kong and deepen the construction of the GBA. And the city is going to draft its very first 5-year plan, and the work is to be completed within this year. I appreciate this and support the initiative. I hope Hong Kong can leverage on its strengths and align with the country's strategy to make contributions for the high-quality development of the country. We should also make good use of the fact that we are backed by the country and make use of the development opportunities in the mainland to promote a win-win situation for both Hong Kong and the country. In the 15 5-year plan, there are multiple ideas about promoting long-term prosperity of Hong Kong. It has brought about great opportunities for Hong Kong. Hong Kong should align its pace with the pace of the country and leverage on its strengths and be proactive in serving the country. The engineering sector should also be more proactive and leverage on their professional strengths to develop new markets. I encourage the government and the industry to make use of innovative outcomes such in materials and equipment to lower costs and enhance efficiency so that we can break through the traditional mode and become high-tech, high-efficiency, and high-quality. The engineering sector should also have regard to the first 5-year plan of the city as well as the National 15 5-year plan. It is important for us to really align with the National 15 5-year plan. I have 4 suggestions. We really need to align our standards with the national standards. For example, for areas such as MIC, we should have a template to lower the compliance costs. We should also have one test, multiple certification arrangements. It will facilitate mainland technical personnel to take professional eligibility examinations before coming to work in Hong Kong. This should also promote talent mobility. We should refer to mainland and international standards. For example, the government recently took on new railway standards and pilot the standards in some projects in the Northern Metropolis. We should try to make use of, for example, national standards and then extend the arrangements to other projects to ensure safety. We should also leverage on our strengths and help mainland standards and align those with international standards. We should have some national standards used in Belt and Road projects to do this. As we see developments, Hong Kong's development plan needs to be top level and forward-looking, and it is not only on the government. The chief executive said specifically he will work with the LegCo to explore different options and collect opinion. public consultations will also be held. I believe the members of the public will also support this initiative. I hope that with a new perspective, we will have great prospects for a future. I so submit speaking in support of the motion and all the amendments.
Members, we don't have enough time today to conclude this motion, so I will suspend the council now. We will resume the council at 9 a.m. tomorrow.